Okay, we will call this regular council meeting to order for October the 14th at 3 p.m. And I would ask Councillor Dunham to please read the land acknowledgement.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. The town of Innisfail acknowledges that we are meeting on Treaty 7 territory, the ancestral and traditional territory of the Blackfoot Confederacy, Kainai, Piikani, and Siksika, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and Stoney Nakoda First Nation. We acknowledge that this territory is home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3, within the historical Northwest Métis homeland. We acknowledge the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit who have lived in and cared for these lands for generations. We're grateful for the traditional knowledge keepers and elders who are still with us today and those who have gone before us. We make this acknowledgement as an act of reconciliation and gratitude to those whose territory we reside on.
All right, thank you, Councillor Dunham. Move into 2.1. Are there any additions or deletions? No. Could I please have someone make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented? Councillor Dunham.
Mayor Barclay, I'll make that motion.
All right, thanks. All in favor? Okay, carried. We'll move into 3.1, the regular council meeting minutes for September the 22nd. Councillor Dunham, or Councillor Bates, sorry.
I'll move those minutes.
Looking right at you.
Your Worship.
Okay. Any changes or anything? No. All in favor? Carried. And then the agenda and priorities meeting minutes for October the 6th. Councillor Messaros.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. I'll move those.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? All right, thank you. So I'll call on Director Leith to please introduce our new fire chief.
Yeah, Council, I'd like to introduce Jayme Hendrick, who's our new dedicated fire chief. Jayme, if you want to stand up. So as most of you already know, Jayme, he's been on the fire department here for over 20 years, also a member of the Edmonton Fire Department. His commitment to our community safety is second to none. Served as auxiliary RCMP as well. Thankful of council and of their support for my department and true commitment to community safety as well.
Thank you, Director Leith, and just wondering if Chief Hendrick would like to come up and say a few words, or because I know you love doing that. So we'll just wait. Hold it. You've got to come up here. Sorry.
For the mic. I gotta sit too. No, I just want to thank Gary for making way for this position and being a lot shorter than me, so this will make it easier. And it's going to be a lot easier talking to you as my English is first language. I got to get my digs in now, so. No, it's quite the honor to be here, especially being born and raised here. So this is home. It's been quite the turnaround. Definitely going to be a learning experience for myself, as this is I've definitely been more operational driven than admin driven. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm looking forward to working to learning the ropes with council and everything like that. If anyone needs anything, just give us a call in there, and you can talk to Gary.
Okay, well, thank you, Chief Hendrick, for welcome on behalf of council. Welcome. We're thrilled that you have been chosen for this position, and it's pretty cool, homegrown, and here you are. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And yes, we could understand you too, so that was Okay, we'll move into 4.2 and the CEO report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Before I go into the report, Council, I just wanted to, just in light of the introduction to the fire chief, as you know, Council, the town has developed a really strong senior leadership team with the addition of the fourth team, and Gary's taken some knocks today, but my intent is to give him a couple bouquets just to level him off a little bit. But I don't think as civilians we understand how important it is to moving from the fire chief responsibilities and hand it over. I know he handed it over graciously and empowering somebody part of the organization already, but I think all senior leadership team, but also specifically to the director of protective services. as I'm full of compliments today, I will ask council just to focus on the reports. If there's any questions in relation to the report, certainly take your questions and ask for a pause as I lead into the last part of the report. But is there any questions, council, in relation to the information in the CEO report?
Councillor Bates.
I do have one. The fire services master plan that is mentioned, I obviously won't be here to see any or hear any of the results of that unless I choose to sit out there. Are there any dates that the components align to, or a date where the plan will be coming back?
Your worship, through to Councillor Bates. So the process starts next week on the 21st. They're coming to do the initial interviews and look at our administrative processes, our community risk assessment. So the community risk assessment should be done by early next year, with the full plan complete by April of next year.
Thank you.
CEO Becker, I wonder if you could elaborate at all on the AI workshop that you attended, and maybe a few few highlights from that?
Sure, Mayor Barclay, and I'll also ask Director Vickers, Director Jenkins, who sat in on that AI workshop, is really focused on HR. So how do you screen applicants, for example, using AI as a source, and what kind of trouble you can get into by using that. And although there's a lot of positives in using AI in that capacity, there's also some challenges that could create discrimination, for example, depending on the nature of the information put into the system to screen those types of applications. From my perspective, what I took as a CAO was more as an organization ready ourselves to use that tool. It's really not a choice. It's going to be applicable tool for efficiency and effectiveness. But making sure we have the right foundational component built in, that we know how to use it correctly and not breaching our corporates, our property, as well as making sure we're following legislation and not getting ourselves in trouble. Followed with the appropriate policies and procedures, making sure staff knows how to use the tool to advance, to better our services. So really general from my perspective, more focus on the challenging parts of it, because I know it's good, but I'm more focused on making sure the company is protected.
Thank you for that. Good. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Okay.
Okay, just in conclusion to my report, Council, staff are here for you, just to acknowledge everything you've done, your leadership and supporting administration staff over the last 4 years. My only piece of advice concluding the CEO report is making sure you're focusing on all this good stuff that has occurred over the last 4 years, not so much over the last couple of weeks or a couple of months, but making sure you spend some time to really reflect on those really great things that we accomplished within the community. And with that, I think I'll just give you a little token.
You're going to make us cry. No, just kidding. Well, I think I got it in some notes for later on, but since everybody's here right now, you know, we all have a role to play, and ours, of course, is governance and kind of setting that strategic direction, but none of it would happen, and our success only comes because of the dedicated people that work here. And I think we are so blessed in this community to have the team that we do, and great leadership with CEO Becker and the directors and everything, but it's, you know, that the frontline staff that are out there day in and day out doing the work that needs to be done in this community. So on behalf of council, thank you from us, because you are the people that do the hard work. So thanks. Okay. Okay. And we're all dismissed. Thanks, everybody. Yeah. Speaking of work, get at it. Anyway, just have someone please make a motion that we approve the CO report as presented. Councillor Wing.
Thanks, Mayor Barclay. I would make that motion to accept the report as information.
Thank you. All in favor? Okay, carried. And then we'll move into 4.3 and the council action control. So there'll be some things left over for the next group to work on, and just have a motion, please, that we accept the council action control as information.
Mayor Barclay, I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Any questions about anything? Okay, all in favor? Carried. And we'll move on to 5.1 with Director Vickers and the Parkland Regional Library budget.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. So I do have the proposed Parkland Regional Library budget for 2026 before you. The town of Innisfil does have an agreement with the Parkland Regional Library to provide library services within the town. The projected 2026 budget submission is an annual process that has been developed in compliance with the Libraries Act and the Parkland Regional Library's budget policy. So for 2026, there is an 18-cent increase to the municipal per capita requisition from $9.81 to $9.99. They have had this increase necessary to balance their budget to support rising costs in areas such as salaries, their e-content, software licenses, and trainings. I do have the last 2 previous years for 2025 and 2024 just to show the increase in dollars that we had over the past couple of years. So despite their increase, their budget does remain balanced with no surplus or deficit, and it is ensuring that 91% of the municipal levy is returned in direct benefits back to member libraries. With the increase in requisition and the increased population estimate, so Parkland Regional Library budget for 2026 will be $79,770. So it is an overall increase to our budget of $1,437.30. They do ask that council consider their proposed budget, so if there is any problems, they can hear it at their board meeting on the 27th. Innisfil administration is recommending that council approve the Parkland Library's 2026 budget requisition. And I'll take any questions.
All right. Thank you, Director Vickers. Does anybody have any questions? Councillor Bates?
Yes, through your worship, I have one. And I'm trying to remember last year, the numbers that were on here. It had 3 years. So if I remember rightly, we had a larger than normal increase last year because the source they chose to use for our population. And some communities even had a drop. And I notice we're still using that same number. Does anybody know, maybe Councillor Wing or the director, when they might change that population or that source, or consider a different source? Just curious, because we seem to be quite at the mercy of that number.
Okay, Councillor Wing.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay, and through to Councillor Bates. A year ago, so it's not a matter of the board choosing the numbers. It's actually legislated to them, and up until a year ago, the magic number was given to us, population was given to us through municipal affairs. A year ago, the government made the decision that they would change that to numbers coming from Treasury Board. So they did, and that's where all of these very interesting numbers came from. Then this year, they've come back and said the numbers will return to municipal affairs numbers, however, they'll be maintained at where they were. So the government's not really 100% sure yet, but so as far as Parkland making the next move, it truly is dependent upon the government of Alberta.
Thank you very much.
I think what's really interesting is when you Google Innisfil, Alberta population stats, it comes out at 8,700 on the Government of Alberta website. Like, where does that come from?
So Mayor Barclay, the 7985 comes, I believe, from Statistics Canada.
But I'm just saying, like, the Government of Alberta has an 8,700 number, which, like, I'm not sure how that's calculated either.
Yeah, they likely took our 7985 and just aged up children and aged up and had
There's
births
no,
and stuff like that.
Not necessarily a rhyme to reason. Like, it just seems a bit high is all I'm saying. And but you haven't seen that number being pulled into, town of Innisfil, things that, okay. Yeah, okay, thanks. Okay. All right, any other questions for Director Bickers or Councillor Wing, because she's our representative? No? Can I please have a motion then that we approve the Parkland budget?
I'd like to make that motion, Mayor Barclay. I would move that council approves the Parkland Regional Library 2026 budget.
Perfect, thank you. All in favor? Okay, carried. And then we'll go into 5.2 and the council remuneration policy.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so council, we do have before you the recommendations from the Council Remuneration Committee. So the Town of Innisfil's Council Remuneration Policy, which is 2023-007, it does provide the framework for setting and reviewing compensation for the mayor and councillors. The policy is intended to ensure remuneration is fair and transparent while recognizing the significant time commitments and responsibilities involved in serving on council. A review is to happen every 2 years, so in the year of a general election, which is this year, and also in the midpoint of the council term. So in 2023, in last year's midpoint, a major update to the policy was completed following a comprehensive review by the Council Remuneration Committee at that time. The update modernized the structure of the policy and clarified definitions around eligible meeting times and per diems. So under the updated policy, we did a few things, updated the base monthly honoraria. We did introduce a flat rate for A&P meetings. We removed the per day system and replaced it with just a $35 per hour structure, including maxing an 8-hour day for conventions, added travel time, clarified which activities are covered within that base honoraria, added the professional development, and then just put some verbiage around COLA. Not that council must take COLA every year, but if they do take COLA, it cannot be higher than what the rest of the town staff take for COLA. Okay, so the 2025 Council Remuneration Review has now been completed. The committee looked at data from 2 different municipal remuneration surveys, and through that review found that Innisfil's council's pay is well below that of similar municipalities, especially those with populations between 8 and 12,000. This group was seen as the best comparison because it matches Innisfil's size, services, and regional role. Overall, the current monthly honoraria for both the mayor and councillors are below the 50th percentile of Alberta municipalities and sit closer to the lower quartile, even though Innisfil Town's Council has comparable governance responsibility to those peers. The review also highlighted that Innisfil council members attend significantly more meetings than in those in comparable municipalities. Data showed that Innisfil ranked at the top of the group, with councillors consistently taking part in the highest number of meetings each year. This reflects the town's large committee structure, strong involvement in regional boards, and the high level of governance work expected of our own council members. And while cost of living adjustments have been applied periodically, there have been no significant increases to remuneration in several years. And as a result, Innisfil's compensation continues to lag significantly, both behind population-based comparators as well as percentile benchmarks, despite carrying one of the heaviest governance workloads in the comparator group. These findings highlight the need for a structured and deliberate plan to address the gap. So the financial review of council remuneration, like I said, used 2 independent survey sources, as well as population-based comparisons to see how Innisfil's current pay levels line up with other Alberta municipalities of similar sizes. They did focus on towns in the 8 to 12,000 range, which reflects similar governance duties, service levels, and meeting demands. The combined results show that the median at the 50th percentile monthly honoraria for municipalities of this size will typically fall in the range about $5,700 to $6,400 for a mayor and $3,000 to $3,400 for councillors, depending on the percentile band used. These figures represent a standard range for comparator communities with similar workloads. So by comparison, our current monthly honoraria for a mayor sits at $3,009 and $1,428 for councillors. So this does create a gap of about $2,700 to $3,400 for the mayor and $1,600 to $1,900 for councillors when measured against the median benchmarks. The difference highlighting the structural change that would be needed to bring Innisfil's remuneration in line with the 50th percentile and population-based norms. To address this gap, the committee is recommending a 6-year phased approach beginning in 2026. The gradual plan would align compensation with the median comparator levels over the time, allowing for predictable budgeting, fairness across terms, and continued alignment with Alberta municipal standards. So I do kind of have the framework below for what a mayor and monthly councillor would cost, going from the year 2025, which is this year, up to 2031. And administration is recommending supporting the committee's proposal to adjust remuneration for the town of Innisfil's elected officials over a 6-year period beginning in 2026, reaching the 50th percentile of comparable Alberta municipalities to ensure fair and consistent compensation. And I would just like to note that the rest of town staff is currently sitting at the 50th percentile as well. So we've already brought the rest of staff there. So now it's just time to bring council up to that 50th percentile.
Okay. Thank you, Director Vickers. Does anybody have questions or comments? Councillor Dunham.
Thanks, Mayor Barclay. I think this council has shown over the last 4 years that we are not sitting here because of the money, that we're here because we wanted to help improve this community, and we felt that we had the experience to do so. I think from day one, when we set our budget and decided not to take any remuneration or to take anything for the likes of mobile phones, etc., that there's a certain mindset to wanting to sit here. And I really hope that the next people elected to these positions feel the same way. But I just want to say that thank you for this, and I think it is good because to be able to attract people that may still be in the workforce and need to supplement their income if they're having to take time off, this will incentivize running for those people that potentially we're going to see a drop in what they would take home. So thank you for all this.
All right, thank you. Councillor Heistad.
Thanks, Mayor Barclay. I want to commend the committee and administration working on this. I do like the tiered approach. I think that, to me, you know, just sitting at the table and just looking at it, it makes sense, right? It's not over the top. It's respectful, and it does make I do believe for a new council to come in here, the process a lot easier for them when this does come up at the times that the new council will have to address it at the end of the day. And I think the stage approach is just like some of our staffing. You know, we have our own levels of new staff coming in, or when we're hiring staff is where they start and when they end, and they receive COLA. So I think everything that was done was really well positioned, and I appreciate the work from the committee and administration. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor, oh, no, I wasn't sure if I thought you were going to say something, but, okay, go ahead then.
So, they're mostly comments. I don't remember, I know we've always kind of, it seems like we're recommended more than what we adopt. I don't remember this big discrepancy in 2023, so I'm assuming it's driven in part by the 8,000 to 12,000 category. Was it considered back in 2023?
Mayor Barclay, through to Councillor Bates, the council back in 23 also found that you were far behind the rest as well, but we wanted to make a change to the policy and bring that forward and then move on after we had some more data too.
Okay. And definitely, as per Councillor Dunham, and even before, council's always been reluctant to take increases, and we're noble in that. Yeah. So I don't necessarily believe in that. I think that it does look to me like significant increases should be considered. I think I defer to council whether that full recommendation is adopted and whether or not that all should be decided today, because I mean we're all getting presented this kind of short notice. And then going forward too, I believe the last time when we made the change where we broke the A&P meetings out, and you actually had to attend them to get that money, which became part of the overall compensation, I would subtly make the suggestion that all the A&Ps and the council meetings could be something that you earn to get to your, whatever that level is for that year, and that if you don't attend, you don't get paid. That's just a thought that goes in the back of them, because those are the most important things. They're the meetings where you have all of your in cameras and that sort of thing and make a lot of major decisions. So I'm just saying the structure could be such that to get the money, attendance is part of that component. And we all have a softer summer sometimes than other months. But yeah, those are my comments. I think definitely a significant increase is warranted, and stages do seem to be a good way to address it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Heistad?
Yeah, no, I was going to comment after Councillor Bates commented about the, as to the previous discussions in 2023, I think we were trying to get to here today. As to the AMP meetings, totally get that if you're not available or if you're not present. As to individuals not getting paid if they're sick or unwell or something comes to that nature, I do have an issue with, because we all have busy lives, but sometimes those unexpected illnesses do happen on councils, and we should be, you know, I think I understand that we're elected at the governance level, but stuff happens in life, and if you're sick or unwell or all those things, and we experienced that at our last term. One of our colleagues was ill. We should be compensating those individuals who are duly elected in those roles. As to the AMP, I'm okay with what we're presently doing. Thanks.
And Councillor Wing.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. I'd like to pick up on one of Councillor Bates's comments relative to approving a 6-year plan at this point in time. I'm not sure that I would want to go that far into this. I understand the philosophy. I understand the thinking. I think that the next elected council should make some of those decisions relative to moving forward after the first year or at the 2nd year mark in their term when they are reviewing the policy and working with the committee again. I appreciate the work for sure. I very much appreciate that we would have volunteers from the community that would put their time into doing this kind of work and coming back with a recommendation. And so actually, when we are ready to make a motion, I would like the motion to include that we accept the recommendations of the Citizen Council Compensation Committee, because I think it's important for people that they understand that this is a level of community work, not just purely council work around these recommendations. But yeah, I would like to consider that for the purposes of this motion, we approve until the next council has their 2-year review of this policy.
So Mayor Barclay, through to both Councillor Wing and Councillor Bates, yes, we're still going to follow the policy, and in 2 years, in the next council's midterm, we will be reconvening a council committee, remuneration committee, and bringing them in to do re-review, and they could totally recommend to change this altogether or to go in a totally different way.
Okay, so this motion today is not putting this into the budget for the next 6 years?
No, even the next council, when they pass the budget, they could technically make changes at that point. So this is, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Councillor Messaros.
Thank you. Last question to Director Vickers. What was the math you used to come up with the increases? Is it like just a percentage per year?
So Mayor Barclay through to Cindy Messaros, we actually had a couple of different options. So we did look at a 2-year and a 4-year and a 6-year, and we felt that the 6-year was really just, we needed to get to that 50th percentile mark, so we just bridged it over 6 years. It works out to approximately a 10% increase each year.
Thank you.
Okay, Director Vickers, can we just go back to the motion, because I know we haven't made it yet, but it does say approve the 6-year council remuneration adjustment plan and direct administration to incorporate the improved schedule, I'm assuming for 6 years into future budgets. So.
So Mayor Barclay, what that would look like is when we're bringing the budget to you guys in the next, well, I guess it would be 5 years that you could see, it would show an increase in those numbers year after year to kind of show that increase. However, we are approving a new budget each year. So even though we might be approving the outlook for the next 4 years, next year when budget comes, new council will get to make those decisions again at that point.
And then in 2 years, there'll be a review anyways, again, by the community, the public committee as well.
Yes, we will bring in a new committee in 27, and then they'll do a whole new review. We'll likely get a few more studies done, see where everyone's at now, because that 50th percentile will change as well, right? So.
Yeah, I also think too that, what we've done this term is we've tracked things better, right? With the way we're doing timesheets now, and we're able to see.
And while we weren't first in committee meetings, we were first in standard meetings every year above every single municipality that we hit against. We were third on committee meetings, so we're still very high on how many committee meetings we we hold. But even just standard meetings through them on Mondays,
Yes.
Innisfil holds the most out of who we surveyed.
Yeah, no, that's good to know. Thank you. Anything else? No, I'll have somebody make the motion, please, and also add in Councillor Wing's suggestion as well.
Suggestion to,
Accept the recommendations of the Citizen Council Compensation Committee. So the council.
I'll let you make it.
Okay. Okay.
I would move that council accept the recommendations of the Citizen Council Compensation Committee and approve the 6-year council remuneration adjustment plan and direct administration to incorporate the approved schedule into future operating budgets.
Okay, any further questions, discussion? All in favor? Okay, and then the second motion, please. Councillor Messaros.
Okay, let me try this one. I move that council approves number 2023-007, council remuneration policy as amended.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Carried. Okay, and we'll move into 6.1 with Director Jenkins and the U18 Provincial Hockey Tournament.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. So we're looking to present a request to council for the hosting of the 2026 U18 Hockey Provincial Champion Tournament. The Innisfil U18 Flyers hockey team is preparing to submit a bid for Hockey Alberta to host the 2026 Provincials for their division March 26th to 29th, 2026. The tournament will bring 7 teams from across the province to compete. Bid submissions are approved by January 1st to allow communities to prepare for the events. A letter of support requesting the confirmation of ice ability and rates has been submitted by the organizing committee. Our facility booking and allocation policy outlines that requests to maintain ice beyond the standard schedule for hosting these types of events be submitted for consideration. That allows us to give adequate notice to our dry surface users. So just for council, typically the red ice surface is taken out sort of the first week of March. So that's the big impact, is that the red ice surface is left in for about 3 additional weeks till the end of March to allow for the tournament, which does impact lacrosse when they're getting, and baseball when they're starting up. So the U18 team did submit, council approved a similar request in 2025. However, they were unsuccessful in that submission. So yes, looking for consideration of approval to create a letter of support.
All right, thank you, Director Jenkins. Does anybody have any questions about this submission, letter of support? No? Okay, I'll just,
Sorry.
do you have a question?
Yeah, I got a question. Last year when we approved it, of course, right? How did the communication go with Mavs and those other sports? It was all supported, I'm assuming, last year.
Yeah, and we
Director
tried,
Jenkins.
that's built into the policy,
Yeah.
that by January 1st, we're able to tell those groups
Okay.
if there is going to be a delay in the availability. They don't love it because they have to come up with other options,
Yeah.
but it does give them some time. Yes, last year they were unsuccessful. I believe Drumheller ended up being the host community.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll have somebody please make a motion then. Councillor Heistad beat you.
I beat you. Recommend that council provide a letter of support to the Innisfil Minor Hockey Association confirming availability of red and blue ice services for the March 26th, 29th U18 Hockey Provincial Championships if their hosting bid is successful.
All right, thank you. All in favor? Carried. Okay, we'll move into 6.2 with the Dinner of Diamonds request.
Okay, so we have a couple of sponsorship requests coming up for council. So as per the new policy for sponsorships and requests, outlines that these may be submitted for consideration on a case-by-case basis by council. So this application is for the Innisfil Cadets Dinner of Diamonds event. They are asking for $300. This is consistent with what town has supported in the last few years for the Dinner of Diamonds. Right now, so within our operating budget, The 2025 operating budget identified $5,000 for community sponsorships. To date, we have allocated $4,700 of that. So there is $300 remaining without exceeding that line. Just for council's memory, $2,500 was provided to the rodeo, $1,700 to the Harvest Fest, and $500 to the Rotary Golf Tournament. So just looking for council consideration of funding for the Dinner of Diamonds.
Okay, thank you, Director Jenkins. Could I please have someone make a motion? Are you making the motion? Oh, your light's on. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize my light
Okay,
was on.
that's okay.
so-
All right.
Light was on, nobody's home.
Councillor Bates.
I'll move that we sponsor them to the amount of $300, which I believe I'm reading is the same as we've done for the last 3 years.
All right, thank you. Does anybody have any questions, discussion? Councillor Wing?
Thank you, Mayor Barclay, and just a question. I'm aware that we have the next item on the agenda is another sponsorship request. So my question is, are these placed in the agenda kind of in order by which we got the requests, or are we just really, like, is the next request going to be out of luck because of where they found themselves on the agenda?
I don't believe there was any rhyme or reason to the order on the agenda.
Okay.
Or that it correlates with when they were received.
When they were received. Okay, thank you. That's
yeah.
good. Thanks.
Okay, so we have a motion to support the Cadets to $300. All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Thank you. And then we'll move into 6.3 with Director Jenkins.
Yes, so another sponsorship application. This is for the Little Black Dress and Beyond fundraiser event, which is a new event this year being put on for the Ridgewood Women's Institute as well as the Historical Village. They are requesting a $500 sponsorship for their event. As mentioned in the previous item, we are now at the $5,000 level. Council does have the ability to allocate beyond that. There is an inclusion there, a bit of a description of the event with the fundraising money going to both the Historical Village and the Ridgewood Women's Institute.
Okay, thank you, Director Jenkins. Could I please have someone make a motion? Councillor Heistad.
I'll make the motion to get it on the table. The council provides sponsorship to the Black Dress and Beyond fundraiser event in the amount of $300 to be funded from the 2025 operating budget. Want my rationale?
Yep, for sure. Thank you.
We just had a request come before us, and you know what? This is a newer event in our community. I know the Cadets and the Dinner of Diamonds has been around for quite some time, and just looking at it, I think if we're going to approve it, it should be of similar nature in the funds.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Councillor Bates.
Oh, this would probably be a question to the director, and I don't disagree with Councillor Heistad's comments at all. Do we have a feel for how big the Ridgewood Women's Institute is as far as members?
I just read this before.
I know it does say some background that they were founded in way back, and now some of them have retired in Innisfail.
Yeah, I don't believe I have a number on membership, but they have been more active in the last couple of years. I know there were members at our art engagements as well as at registration night. They've been looking for membership.
Is it fair to say they're not a huge organization, or
I would think that's probably fair to say. I would say they're probably members in the dozens of people.
Anyway, I'll agree with Councillor Heistad's comments at this point.
There's a first. 4 years. Anybody else have any comments? No, so we have a motion to support for $300. All in favor? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, so carried. 5-1. Okay, we'll move on to the Aquatic Center update with Director Jenkins.
Yeah, so just our regular project update for council. Activities continue at the Aquatic Center. Project remains on schedule and within budget parameters. The roof removal is now complete, and they're near completion with the installation of the new insulation and ceiling for the roof. Exterior cladding is underway. Council may have noticed there's some nice yellow spray foam that's being chipped off that wasn't necessarily anticipated as to what was behind the cladding when they pulled it off. So that has taken a little bit of extra manpower to get that removed, but that should be completed later this week. New east side exit door installation is complete. Window replacement is near complete. The slab in the change room area is completely dug up with the new piping and mechanical being installed, as well as new electrical conduit. So big thing starting this week will be the demolition of the old whirlpool. We did complete our final public information session since our last update with council. So that was on September 17th. We had about, I should have brought my sheet. I think we were about 20 total people coming through, far less in terms of traffic than the first event, and a lot of public feedback that evening. We continue to update information on the involved site, including photographs of construction progress. There hasn't been a lot of exciting changes in the last week or so, so the photographs they're okay.
Okay, thank you, Director Jenkins. Does anybody have any questions about the Aquatic Center? Councillor Bates?
Yeah, memory problem. Do we have a tour plan?
We do. Friday, 10:30? 11. Yep,
This Friday?
this Friday. Bring your PPE. If you have it, if you have vests and hard hats and things, we do have them here, but if you have your own, you will need safety glasses and all of those
Will
things.
you bring that to the Aquatic Center?
Yes.
Or do you want us to come here and
We can
pick
meet
it up?
at
Okay.
the site there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question, Director Jenkins. How many people have signed up for the updates on the information, on the communication that comes out? Do you know?
Last I heard, there was 31 people who have subscribed to the Involve
Okay.
Innisfail.
And that includes staff,
Yes,
includes council.
yes.
So how many public members do you think? Do you know, or?
I can go through the list,
Yeah, that's
probably.
okay. Well,
And that's people who have subscribed to get the update. It's not
Right.
necessarily the number of people who have gone to the page.
No, for sure.
But yes.
Yeah. Do you see the page gets traffic? Can you see that, or?
I haven't pulled the stats for
Okay.
the web traffic. It's probably me, the one who visits it the most,
Okay.
but.
Yeah. Well, we just hear a lot about the communication,
Yeah.
and here's like I know I had an update today from Involved
Yeah.
on the Aquatic Center because there was new information that came up, and I think people could really be tied into that project. All they have to do is sign up for it. And okay, so we will have a Councillor Bates.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. We'll have a motion that we accept the report as information, please. Councillor Dunham?
Mayor Barclay, I will make that motion.
Thanks. All in favor? Okay, carried. And we'll move into correspondence and information. So we have the CPKC holiday train coming to town on a Tuesday this year. More information coming out. RCMP update, and then policing committee minutes. So if anybody has any questions, ask away, and if not, I'll have a motion that we accept the correspondence as information, please. Councillor Wing?
I'll just move that we accept for information.
Perfect, thank you. All in favor? All right, carried. Okay, we'll move into council reports, and we'll begin with Councillor Heistad.
Your Worship, I did get a report in. It's pretty brief. and I looked at the wording. It's terrible. It's horrible. Once again, but it was horrible. I was like, wow. Use AI. So, it's been an honor to sit with all of you the last 4 years, and I wanted to say, in my message was that I've really missed Don the last year, and there's certain times when we've had, the moose is on the table, and I think that there was times you can feel that when we're in as a group, you look around and we know that we missed Don. But what I think was really cool about this group, we didn't slow down with our projects. We did not slow down. We went right to the end. And that is commendable, not only to us, but our senior leadership's team. And then I've never, even in the time that I've been on council, I've never had staff come in and sit in with us. So in my time that I sat on and off, so it meant a lot where staff were present and part of our send-off. So, and Mayor Barclay, nobody works as hard as you. And I'd say it, sometimes I was a little jerk at times. But I respect big jerk. No, I respect the work that you do and what you've done for our community as a councillor and as a mayor. So thanks to everybody around the table today in the last 4 years.
Thank you, Councillor Heistad, for those nice words. We'll move into Councillor Wing next.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay, and thank you, Councillor Heistad, for stealing all my words. So that's okay. I'll just sit and cry quietly here in the corner. I have attached my final report. I will have my last official duty this Thursday. I'll be going to Lacombe for the Parkland Regional Library System Executive Committee meeting. I am going to attend in person, so I have the opportunity to thank their administration there, just like I would like to thank our administration here today. You guys are awesome. You're an awesome team. I've been on your side of the table. I've been on this side of the table. It's not easy working to support a board or a council, and I appreciate all the work that you have done and some of the big jerks you've had to deal with over the years. To my council colleagues, you are just one of the best teams I've ever seen. And so yes, Mayor Barclay's leadership and her extreme work ethic has been a great model and has set a great tone pace for us, and every one of us, every one of you, including our dear friend Dawn, stepped up. And so I'm most proud of being a part of Innisfail Town Council for the last 4 years.
Okay, thank you very much, Councillor Wing, for those words.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. My final report is there as well, and I feel that it's worth echoing what Councillor Wing and Councillor Heistad has said. I tend to be, I think, a little bit more of the emotional one on this council and sometimes have a hard time keeping my emotions in check, so bear with me. See, here we go. I just can't even do it. I want to extend my heartfelt thank you to my fellow council members for the collaboration and dedication over the past term. A special thank you to Don Harrison. The council chambers have not been the same since your passing, and his contributions are deeply missed. I also want to say thank you to CEO Becker and the SLT team, Director Leith, Director Jenkins, Director Vickers, and Director Kennedy, for your hard work in ensuring that we are well informed to make the decisions that needed to be made. A big thank you as well to the staff at the town of Innisfail. Their dedication keeps the town running smoothly and looking amazing. And thank you, Anita, for keeping us organized. I know it hasn't been easy, and I'm really glad that for our final report we all made it in. You made sure we knew where we needed to be and when we needed to be there. And you kept us informed on all matters, and we really appreciate that. And I also want to say that no matter what council chambers looks like in 2 weeks, I have faith that the good work will continue and that Innisfail will remain an amazing little town that it is. It truly has been an honor to serve alongside such committed, hardworking people, and I thank you all, and I look forward to what the future brings for all of us.
All right. Thank you, Councillor Dunham. Thank you. Councillor Messaros.
Well, I wrote mine down because I think I come even before Councillor Dunham in terms of emotions. So it's there for everybody to read, and I just have a big fat thank you for everybody. I think my report echoes what everybody else has said. It's really been the privilege and honor of my lifetime to serve on here with the people in particular that I've served with, and with staff, admin, and the senior leadership team for helping us make good decisions. And anyway, my stuff's there. I feel it coming on. I'm gonna close off now. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm next because Councillor Bates insists on having the last word, believe it or not. But so anyway, first of all, I'm of course thinking about our colleague Don Harrison today. It's been almost a year since Don passed away, but he had a tremendous impact on council and on our community. And I know each of us personally, I always certainly cherished his friendship and his advice. And I'm so happy that Colleen will be joining us for dinner this evening. To my council colleagues, to Todd and the senior leadership team, thank you for an incredible 4 years. We've accomplished so much together, with all of us having our role to play. As I said earlier today, we would not have success without the dedicated team at the town. And, you know, that success kind of starts with us and setting the vision and the ambitious goals that we did. It all seemed to work so well together. So I'm very proud of all of you, and there are some big shoes to fill. So to my council colleagues, to Gavin, to Councillor Bates, thank you for your 3 terms on council. You are the consummate professional, thoughtful, prepared, and a formidable challenge when discussing franchise fees. Your experience will be missed. To Councillor Messaros and Councillor Dunham, 1 term kind of flew by in a heartbeat, it seems. I know the time commitment has been a challenge trying to balance work and then more work with council. But through it all, you demonstrated your dedication and love for this community. And to Councillor Wing and Councillor Heistad, wishing you the very, very best on October 20th. Your experience and dedication has been truly appreciated here. Both of you are true champions of Innisfail, and I hope to see you back at the council table. I think of just the diversity in skills and our thoughts, our perspectives, it really made this a very special team to be a part of. And to C.O. Becker, thank you so much for your mentorship and your guidance. We've shared a lot. I'm incredibly grateful for your leadership. It's quiet, thoughtful, and guided by decades of experience. To our senior leadership team, you are awesome. You are hardworking, dedicated, and it's so obvious how much you care about the staff that work under you and how much you care about this community. And of course, to Juanita, thanks as always for being the organizer. Your professionalism is absolutely outstanding. And also to Ken, thank you for being here week after week after week. And so many others before me have said it. We couldn't have been successful without, you know, the guidance of this whole team and helping us through some very difficult decisions. And together, I want to remind you that, you know, we won some awards this term. We won the Chamber Partner of the Year Award in 2022, the Diversity Magazine's Organizational Diversity Award in 2024. And then in 2025, we won the Invest Alberta Belt Buckle Award and the Carbon Capture Canada CCUS Leader of the Year Award for the economic success that has been achieved here. So what a ride it has been. It is as good as it gets, and I think all the right pieces came together, the right people in the right place and the right time. So a huge thank you to everyone from the bottom of my heart, and thanks. Signing off. Councillor Bates.
So, I did late last week ask if I could be the last councillor to speak, and I didn't think I was going to be after the mayor, but I guess age has its privileges. I did write it all down here, and so I'm going to kind of read it to make sure I don't miss anything. But certainly being a councillor and now not being one is a major milestone in my life. I arrived in Innisfail 49 years ago, a new hire with John's Memble, which was under construction. So My slide rule tells me I've been 90% of my adult life here in Innisfail, pursuing my career and raising my family. I've been on council now for 12 years, and that equates to 20% of my adult life. So I feel very rooted. Councillors are politicians, and politicians usually acknowledge their families, no exception here. My late wife, Frankie, urged me to run for my second term, and her volunteerism contributed so much to the town. 2 of my 3 sons were born here, and all have flourished in their chosen careers. During my tenure, I have worked with 15 other individuals on council, and I've lived most every positive and negative emotion that I can think of. I wouldn't trade those experiences for anything, even the negative ones. As I mentioned in our candidate orientation, I found all 3 terms to be extremely fulfilling and rewarding, and it's a privilege to be able to contribute and help determine the direction of the town that it's headed through council and through Innisfail's corporate administration. And the last term has been extremely productive. So using the words of my colleagues, all of the individuals previously mentioned should be thanked. And I too have thought of Don Harrison, especially in the last couple of weeks as I read so much of the social media that is beyond, some of it's beyond comprehension. And Don was always that level-headed person that said, don't forget, you know, some of these individuals are what they are, and overall we govern for everybody. So even though the last term has probably been, certainly it's the most fresh in memory, extremely productive, not to take away from the previous 2, as they all did flow together. I would like to say good luck to the incumbents and to administration, to whatever new council you end up with. So I retire from council with a sense of pride and achievement. We all want to be remembered, and so I've decided to be kind of, well, make sure I'm remembered. I've decided to present the regulars attending council with a small memento. And there is a message with the memento, and I want to make sure everybody realizes that message is only connected to me as a councillor. I will continue to be your most informed, engaged, one of your most informed, engaged, and loyal citizens, and you can call me anytime, and I will give you my opinion. So, no, don't clap yet. I got your mementos. I would give to the mayor first, but I'll just do it.
Did you make those?
I didn't.
Okay.
They're custom made.
Put it up there with the moose. Johnny, you need to take a picture of this. Get a close up. Johnny, you need to get a picture of this.
You are a regular.
Yeah, you are a regular.
I saw that. Now I am going to cry.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Gavin.
Thank you, Councillor Bates. That's awesome. All right, well, we'll just go into upcoming events. And just have a motion to accept the upcoming events as information, please.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Thanks. So before we head off into in camera, I'll thank the scribbler also, who is quite dedicated and comes week after week, and you know, some of his headlines could be much improved, but But anyway, no, just kidding, just kidding. And thanks, Ron, I know you come here a lot, so thanks for your dedication to the town and council. And I know Angie's out there, and Andrew Ritzenbennett, thanks for coming today. And so we'll have a motion to go in camera.
Mayor Barclay will make the motion to go on camera.
Thank you. All in favor? Thank you. Oh, hang on.
I don't know if you'll hear it from Dan Rehberger, but he came back out he was at Discovery this morning, and there was a half-page article in the Vancouver Sun last Sunday about deep sky.
Yeah, there was, yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.